Recess had a rhythm she didn't know. There were shouts, a jump rope beat, 100 small jokes, and a place in the circle where she did not belong, not by cruelty, just by timing. Camellie watched from the edge, hoping the rhythm would change so she could learn the steps. Tippie stayed close, a small, steady shoulder at her feet. She stepped forward. A hand lifted, a polite wave, the kind that keeps a step inside the circle. No one meant to be unkind, still it stung. Tiny things matter. The way a laugh is timed, the way an inside joke lands. Camellie folded into the quiet like a paper bird finding a ledge. She sat on the bench. Tippie nudged her hand. I don't know how to get in. Sometimes the hardest thing is the question itself, not the answer. You can feel it like a little stone in your chest. That night, imagination opened a door. The bench dissolved into teal light, and the world leaned in to listen. Tippie sat like a small guard of honor. The air smelled of possibility. 2 islands drifted in the sky, one loud and warm, the other calm and still. On one side was laughter that already knew its own steps. On the other, silence that kept its own careful pace. Between them, a gap like an unanswered question. Camellie stood on the quiet shore, looking at both worlds and feeling the tug of each. She took a step, then another, then stepped back. What do you do when both paths look like home? Which side is yours, the noisy one or the quiet one? The question sat between her like a stone. Tippie watched, thinking with his small, patient eyes. And then Tippie twitched his nose. He darted off, ears up, eyes like little lanterns. He had an idea, not a big idea, but the kind that starts with one small movement. Sometimes plans don't need permission. They only need one brave paw. He nosed the grass, searching the small hollows and cool shadows where secrets like to hide. His paw scuffed the soil, a glint, a tiny light under the blades. He scooped it free, a faint blue piece, humming calm like the middle of a quiet breath. On the empty shore he found another, tucked in the grass like a shy hello. He nudged it free with his nose. It popped out with a muted orange glow, like a small sun in his paws. Camellie watched, curiosity folding open across her face. Then he sprang and plucked a warm gold piece from the air like he was catching a spark. Each piece hummed a little tune of its own. At first, island children held the pieces back, unsure. Then little fingers offered them forward, hesitant, then freer. Trust is made in tiny exchanges. Camellie reached down and helped pick one up, and the world felt a degree softer for it. Piece by piece, the light began to stitch away. Some pieces floated, some tumbled. Tippie carried a few proudly between his teeth. Trails of gold ribboned the air, and the island leaned closer to listen. He put the piece into the gap. It locked with a quiet, resonant tone like a secret clicking into place. A small golden arc lit the air. Islanders lifted their heads. Curiosity arrived before judgment. Camellie let out a breath and smiled for the first time. The bridge was not finished. The gap still felt wide. Camellie's foot hovered. Her heartbeat matched the space between her and what might be. Tippie nudged her shoe. A small voice inside her and from others said, "One step." Her foot touched the first glowing piece. She faltered, then felt a hand reach, not to pull her, but to steady. She found a step. It was small. It was everything. Then another. Each footfall made the bridge a little thicker, a little surer. Laughter began to ripple, tentative at first, then real. Together they tried a new move, 2 games braided into one, a silly twist, a shared clap, a cheer that folded 2 worlds into a single rhythm. A tiny idea became a new rhythm and the circle learned a new step. A shy child who watched earlier finally stepped forward. A previously distant player offered a hand to Camellie. They hugged in a way that felt like a promise. We are here. Back in the yard, the ground felt a change. Camellie stepped into the circle with a small idea and an open hand. The room, the yard, the rhythm shifted. Teachers noticed, parents smiled, and the circle widened by inches that felt like miles. Belonging had a ripple. A single brave thing moved into 100 ordinary moments. Later, Camellie and Tippie sat on a bench as the sun lowered. The tiny puzzle piece between them, she drew a small bridge in her notebook, a little map of what she learned. Small courage, a helpful friend, and the willingness to build. You don't have to pick one side. Sometimes the bravest thing is making a path for others to come close. When you build a way, everyone gets to step across. Follow Camellie and Tippie for more tiny stories of courage and kindness. Subscribe, and bring a friend next time.